Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now today was the day we got the Pokemon Direct, and we got a new main series Pokemon game like a lot of us expected, and this was Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon. Now we got two little mini trailers in the Pokemon Direct, which I am going to break down individually, and surprisingly there is quite a lot to talk about in both of these little trailers. Now I can only use screenshots from the Direct and not actual footage because the Pokemon company claims it, so apologies for that, but there's nothing I can do about that. But anyway, if you do enjoy this trailer breakdown video, then hit the like button down below and let me know in the comments. And there's also one thing I do want to clear up pretty quickly, is that Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon are not coming to the Switch, and I say not coming to the Switch, I say for now. So earlier someone on NeoGAF found on the Pokemon Company International's website that a Switch release date was to be announced. However, that was a mistake and was taken down very quickly, so don't bother going to the website as it will only reveal the 3DS's release date. And the Pokemon Company issued a statement on the matter saying, "We would like to address rumours based on a clerical error on the Pokemon press site. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon are coming exclusively to Nintendo 3DS family of systems and are not due for release on Nintendo Switch. This listing on the Pokemon press site was made in error and is not indicative of future plans. Please refer to the Pokemon Direct for more game details." So like I said, just want to clarify that, and I'm not ruling out a potential release on Switch, but if we don't hear anything by E3 about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon coming to the Switch, then I think it is incredibly unlikely. Now with that out of the way, let's start with everything from the first mini trailer from the Pokemon Direct. So first of all, in the actual live action trailer of the Pokken Tournament, this is where it blends into the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon trailer, and as we can see the kids playing on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there's kind of like the 3DS packages, and inside you normally get like a slip talking about like you know, warnings and stuff like that about 3D and stuff, and it seems to be there could be a game icon for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon there. It's very low resolution, so it's very difficult to tell, but I mean, I'm sure they probably made it already, and I'm sure that's kind of part of the packaging, even though we can't see the covers because they got that really cool Pikachu or Pokemon wrapping paper, which I kind of want, actually looks really cool. But yeah, so that could be a game icon, but like I said, not too sure. So next up is we actually see the players of the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon game, and it's clear to see that new customization options are available to the players with new hats, shirts, shorts, bags and trainers, and not Pokemon trainers, I mean shoe kind of trainers are available. And this was to be expected, but it's still nice to see more anyway, and maybe we can customize straight from the start of the game, so actually pick our clothes and hairstyle from like the wardrobe and then start our actual Pokemon journey, instead of taking like 2 hours to actually pick what we actually want in terms of hair at least. So yeah, that will be the logical outcome for this situation, but Pokemon games and logic don't really go hand in hand. Now next up we see a much more detailed Route 1, and in the original Sun and Moon games the flowers on the bushes were beginning to sprout, but as we can see the flowers are in full bloom here. With all the flowers now, maybe we can have AZ's Floette, still unavailable, so hopefully in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon we actually get that unobtainable Pokemon, but who's to know. Anyway, quick mention to the awesome Alolan Raichu surfboard next to the garage. Would be cool to have an option to use the surfboard in the game when surfing, or maybe just a surfboarding mini game. Now next up is something very interesting that someone brought to my attention on Twitter. So Wingull seems to follow the player, and basically the question is, are following Pokemon back, or Pokemon following the trainer? Now this was brought to my attention by Fandomnesia on Twitter, so shout out to you. And as we can see, the Wingull does indeed follow the player. However, I personally think this is an automated occurrence that occurs when the player first leaves the house, with Wingull flying up the route with the player and not actually by the player's side. However, without dashing all hope, there is a chance that we might have Pokemon following us in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon, as in the data for Pokemon Sun and Moon, a YouTuber called KazoWar found walking and running animations for every single Pokemon in the game. So if they brought back following Pokemon, that would be incredible, and there's definitely a chance that could happen, but with the 3DS's kind of computing capabilities, would it be able to handle it? I don't think so. The Nintendo Switch definitely could, but in all honesty, I think the next time we'll see Pokemon following us is on the Nintendo Switch and not on the Nintendo 3DS, but hopefully I am completely wrong. Now next up, there seems to be a new area, like a Pikachu paradise kind of thing. Currently don't know what the purpose of this location is, but it's shown later on in a second trailer and seems to be in a bit more detail. and it seems to be an area we can visit in Sun and Moon, at least in my opinion, so we'll go back to that when we cover the second mini trailer. But next up is a cutscene of Togedemaru, and this cutscene could easily be story related, like we had story related cutscenes in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and that was pretty much the first time we actually had story related cutscenes in a Pokemon game. However, most likely this Togedemaru is related to Sophocles' trial, which appeared in Sun and Moon, and Sophocles is basically the electric trial leader, and he has a Togedemaru in the games and also in the anime at the moment, so that would make a lot of sense. And we also see a cutscene of Mimikyu attacking in what seems to be the outside, so definitely not the area where Ace Roller's trial occurs, where the trial Mimikyu battles the player in that kind of abandoned supermarket. And we actually get to see Mimikyu's eyes from the bottom of it, which does suggest we might actually get to see Mimikyu's true form in Ultra Sun and Moon. It would make quite a lot of sense to actually reveal Mimikyu's true form in the third game, like Platinum. That's when they revealed Giratina's and Shaman's new form, so maybe we could actually see a new form for Mimikyu, although to be honest it is really overpowered, so maybe it doesn't really need a new form anyway. Now next up is another cutscene, and this time it's of Lycanroc midday form. Now this could obviously be another cutscene part of the story, or it could actually be related to either a new trial captain or Olivia, who is a rock type kahuna, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But let's get to the really interesting stuff, and here we see Solgaleo's new form. And when it puts its foot down, it kind of slams its foot down to kind of preview Solgaleo's new form. It seems to either be at the altar of the sun or moon, which is basically the area where you go into the ultra space at the end of the Pokemon Sun and Moon story, or it could either be at the lake of the sun or moon, which in my opinion would be much better, as that was hardly used in the original games at all. It's an amazing area and it takes a while to actually get there. It's like long corridors you have to walk through, and at the end of the day there's just absolutely nothing there. The only reason to go there is to get a Cosmog from the alternate dimension, but in your current dimension it serves no purpose whatsoever, and that really disappointed me because I thought that would be an amazing area for a legendary Pokemon. So my money is that the Lake of the Sun or Moon will definitely be used in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now speaking of Solgaleo and Lunala, we can see that their new forms are a combination of their Radiant Sun and Radiant Moon forms fused with Necrozma, which definitely suggests that this is a Pokemon fusion rather than an entirely new Pokemon altogether. So personally, I really like the look of them, although I'm hoping all the other Ultra Beasts have the potential to fuse with Necrozma, because I'm sure you guys remember Solgaleo and Lunala are actually Ultra Beasts, and then we have the other Ultra Beasts like Nihilego, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Kartana and Guzzlord. So if they can all combine with Necrozma, who isn't believed to be an Ultra Beast, at least that's what the international police thought in Pokemon Sun and Moon, then we could have I think that's around 7 brand new kind of fusions, well 9 if you include Solgaleo and Lunala, so that will be very cool. And there was so much mystery behind Necrozma, you literally just catch it in the original Sun and Moon games, so I'm expecting a lot of the plot to actually focus on this Pokemon. And who knows, maybe we will get new Ultra Beasts, although I think it's really unlikely. It's just that they mentioned in the Pokemon Direct that there will be new Pokemon, although I do actually think they just mean old Pokemon will be available in the Alola region, and technically they're like new Pokemon to the actual regional decks, but who knows, could be new Ultra Beasts. Now the last part of the first trailer shows the trainer twisting his Z Crystal, which I'm pretty sure we didn't see in the original Sun and Moon games, but this could either be a brand new Z move or something entirely new, like for example activating Solgaleo and Lunala's new forms, so let me know in the comments what you think this could actually be. Now let's move on to the second trailer, and in this trailer they did show mostly the same things from the first trailer, but there were a few new clips that I want to go over. So first of all, in the trainer's room at the start of the game we can see an autographed picture, and we're not sure who it could be at this time, but maybe it's the Royal, who is Professor Kukui's alternate wrestling ego. That's the only kind of celebrity I can remember from Pokemon Sun and Moon, so that's the one I'm putting my money on. And there's also a Nintendo Switch in their room, which is a brand new console to be featured in the Pokemon game, so let's all have a moment of silence for the Wii U. Rest in peace, Wii U. In fact, it probably doesn't really deserve a minute of silence. So let's move on to a better shot of the actual Pikachu Paradise, which we saw earlier. And in my opinion, we've most likely visited this area before in Sun and Moon. So on Route 8, there is the Fossil Restoration Center, where a Pokemon breeder is in a caravan and helps restore fossils for the player. Now this area was kind of like a clever Easter egg to Jurassic Park. There's more details about that, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. But we can see that there's construction work being done in this area in the original game, so it wouldn't surprise me if they expanded the area and opened up this Pikachu Paradise. Now we can also see a lone Slowpoke there for some reason, so that's certainly interesting. So maybe this area is for mini games like the Pokathlon was in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And also there is a good chance that the Fossil Restoration Centre on Route 8 isn't the Pikachu Paradise area, as there could be many other areas to put this Pikachu Paradise, especially if they want to keep the Fossil Restoration Centre for the next games. But the fact that we can see another breeder near the Pikachus in the Pikachu Paradise, and that the area looks very similar, and there was construction work going on at the Fossil Restoration Centre, makes me think there is a good chance of this Pikachu Paradise being located here. And who knows, maybe the Fossil Restoration Centre will stay in the same place, but will also expand out to a Pikachu Paradise as well. And finally, I just want to touch on something that I've just seen whilst editing. So if we go back to the start of the Pokemon Direct and we see all the Pokemon items on the bookshelves, there's all those awesome looking Pokemon games in pristine condition in the back. But two games are missing from them, and those are Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. So are Game Freak hinting at something? Are the Pokemon Company hinting at something that, you know, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes are coming soon? They've dropped so many hints in the recent Pokemon film. Obviously, I do expect them sometime soon, not this year, but maybe next year or the year after. So it does seem that could be a hint that they're actually working on these Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. But anyway guys, that is everything I could find in these two mini trailers. If you did enjoy the video, I'd love it if you could hit the like button down below and support this video. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon, then hit the subscribe button down below. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video.